Can I take your order? What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Leak, you feel me, coming at y'all with another reaction video, man. Now look, 7 p.m. Central Time, daily uploads. You already know what time it is, bro. If you're not here on time, bro, I'm gonna give you a 2-piece, bro. I don't think you really want a 2-piece, do you? I don't think so, bro, so you better be here on time. But I appreciate the support nonetheless. Look, bro, this video is called, What Do Black People Think About White People? Now, guys, this is a different type of video today. I'm gonna let y'all know my opinions on stuff because I grew up in the hood around no white people, you know. And then I moved to Alabama. You feel me? I grew up in Chicago. Then I moved to Alabama, and then I was surrounded by all these white people, and I'm like, yo, you feel me? So it was like a rude awakening, not a rude awakening, but it opened my eyes a lot more to, you know, different races and different cultures. Because when you're around nothing but minorities or majorities, you don't really know what's going on. You feel me? On the other side. You feel me? So it opened my eyes a lot. So we gonna see what this video talking about, man. I got my Burger King headset. Let's get the video cooking, man.
I went to a school that was predominantly black when I was growing up. And when I first saw the first white kid, I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Now guys, you know me. I'm always on the prowl. Okay, never mind. She's straight. You know, I saw Shorty in the front. I'm like, whoa. You feel me? I'm looking. You know, I'm always searching and looking.
I act differently around people who aren't my race. 3, 2, 1.
I don't. Fuck no. I don't act differently around anybody.
The most important thing is just to authentically be yourself, and I don't think being around people who don't look like you should be a reason for you to act any different.
Yeah, for me, I guess it's like
See, no, bro, because people you shouldn't be in the agree line right here, bro, because not acting like your genuine self, bro, it only hurts yourself more. And then these people are gonna be fake, bro. It's creating a fake bond. You shouldn't do it, bro. You gotta let people know who you are. You feel me? You gotta let what makes you unique. You gotta let it shine, bro. And the people that deserve to be around you, they're gonna be around you. The people that you join these relationships with and connect with, bro, they're gonna be genuine. They're gonna be strong because it ain't nothing to hide. You feel me? This is the real you. I go around my white homies, bro. I act just how I'm acting when I'm talking to y'all. You feel me? I go around I act the same way. It ain't no switch ups. You feel me?
Within the confines of like the workforce.
The workforce, okay,
switching.
yeah.
Because if you show up to a meeting talking like this, they're like, uneducated, got it. They'll use the slang to sell the products and to tweet and to get the clicks and stuff, but like as soon as a worker's there who's authentically from the area and talking like people from the area, it's like, ooh, we don't like that. You know, because it's always like, well, be yourself until you yourself. And then it's like, ooh, I don't like yourself. Unfortunately, in a lot of the areas of work, it's like you almost have to like lie to these people to be like, I'm a robot. I'll like, you know, I love your company. Yeah. You know, it's sick. It's sick.
Okay.
Like, you have to get you know.
True. Like I feel like code switching is one part, but also like there's certain parts in my own community that aren't accepted. That when I'm around different people that look like me, I can express myself differently.
She cute.
Like I feel like if I talk a little proper, sometimes I get a little slack for it from my side of the family. But when I go out into the world, sometimes I like EDC, I like tech music, I like, you know what I'm saying?
See, for me, I feel like it has nothing to do with race. It more has to do with just being professional. Like if I'm at work, then I'm obviously going to be a little more proper, you know.
Right.
A little bit less slang and all of that, and just more careful with my rhetoric, but I don't think it has to do with race. The only thing I will say is, like, I work in political media, so I'm on camera a lot, so people already know who I am and what I'm coming with. But that being said, it's like when I'm around other black people, because I'm a Republican, sometimes they tend to be really standoffish with me or think that I don't understand the culture and all this different stuff. So sometimes I have to feel it out, like, are these people who are just gonna call me an Uncle Tom, or are these people like I can actually just keep it all the way real with? So that's the only time I feel like I act different because of race.
You know, I also work in political media, but as a leftist, and I honestly feel like I've definitely benefited from being able to be in spaces where I've been able to be authentically myself, and I definitely think that's a privilege, especially where I like grew up is just like something that's regularly happening that people have to go through. But personally, I think I've been able to, especially now in a business side and now my new workplace, I feel like I don't have to adapt my language to make people like respect me or understand where I'm trying to come from, you know?
Right.
At what point is it like, damn, we can't even really have conversations without buttoning up and being like, oh, this is how we have to talk like this, because so they'll listen, or like regard us as.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Racial, or do you think that's?
I ain't
gonna lie, bro. I feel like that's gonna continue to change with this generation, bro. Like, you feel me? You can be upset about what's going on with the whole like gender stuff and like all this other stuff. You can be upset, you feel me? But it's there's still like pros to it, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, things aren't gonna be as stern. You can act how you want to act, things like that, bro. You feel me? So I feel like eventually, like, it ain't gonna be like, oh, all button up and like, oh, this is how you do it, like all stern and you feel me? Y'all go.
I don't know that it's because I'm right. I know where you're going.
You see me.
I know. I think I know.
Cause look, bro. Look, in my opinion, bro, I don't want to talk crazy about nobody. All right, look at this guy right here, for example. You feel me? I feel like he thinking just a little bit too hard. Because if you think about it, bro, especially, you feel me? You get hired at a workplace, right? Y'all know how a lot of people feel about, the gay community and stuff. A lot of people don't like the gay community. I personally don't have a problem. But this man shows up, right? Nose ring, painted nails, dreads, but he's hired for the job. So I feel like the least of his concerns would be the way he talks, Because before somebody hears how you talk, they see you. You feel me? You're presented to them. They think something of you based off how you're dressed. So I feel like he's kind of, thinking about it too hard, bro. Because me personally, bro, like, I can't really sit up and talk proper, bro. I can't really do it. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I can try, but it's still going to come out of me. I don't have a choice. You feel me? I don't have a choice, bro.
Anyways,
like,
I don't think it's intrinsically rooted in race, but I think just the way the social genetic makeup of people are, I think just by way of people of specific races speaking a certain way or being perceived a certain way, it tends to be more often than not rooted in race, based off of like urban Black Americans.
Yeah.
I think most people have barriers they put up when they get introduced to a new group. I went on disagree instead of strongly disagree because like there have been situations where I get introduced to a group of someone of a different race. And like, yeah, at first I'm pulled back, but once I get comfortable with them, those walls come down and then, yeah, that's where my true self comes out.
For me, it really depends because I've been shooting music videos in the hood, so I really need to basically adopt myself to become a Black person. So for me, it's not a problem like meeting new races. I always like vibe and chill with people.
Do you think adapting yourself to those different ethnicities is like something that's required to foster like a successful relationship?
Like, I would say it's really more for your survival because, like, if you are the only white guy on set and like there's like people with like guns and stuff and you just really need to like fit in and just be chill.
Yeah, keep it cool, yeah.
You're from the Ukraine, right? Do you feel like not having grown up with American culture as a whole, and then especially not growing up with our subcultures?
Right, yeah,
Do you feel like that's influenced the way you move when you're moving between our subcultures?
My like mentality is kind of mixed because like from the age of like 13, I really started to learn English. From that, I really learned a lot. Like, I really got the American like mentality more. And basically, like, my mentality is like mixed because like in Ukraine, if we see a Black person, we call them the N-word. Mm-hmm. And from our side, it's not offensive. Like, we say it not from a offensive way, but some people can because, like, you don't see a Black person there.
I can understand that because I went to a school that was predominantly Black when I was growing up. And when I first saw the first white kid, I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was a white girl with like red hair, and I was like, whoa, I've never seen this before. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand that, like, when a white person comes to a predominantly Black group, then you're going to try your best to adapt to our culture, to be like, okay, hey, I get along with you. This is my way of like telling you, like, hey, I'm like extending an olive branch, basically. So yeah.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. It's you feel me? It's crazy how it works when nobody like sways your opinion, bro. I remember when I first moved from the hood and I moved to Alabama, bro, because one of my best friends is white, right? I remember I was fresh from Chicago, bro. I was still communicating with my homies like every day, you know, back in the day, like Facebook or whatever, when Facebook was pop, you know. And I was like, yeah, I'm at my white homie house. And everybody like, oh, let me see. And then like all my homies like getting on the FaceTime and shit. And they're like, oh shit, like look, y'all, like he got a white friend. Like it's just, you know, it's just you got to experience the stuff, bro, like to really know.
I just don't like the notion that you're becoming a black person by pretending to be hood or adopting a hood mentality, because not all black people are hood, not all black people are ghetto. I understand what you're trying to say, and I don't know if it's a language barrier, so I don't want to like come at you like you're saying something racist, but I just really am anti-black people being defined as ghetto and hood, because there's a lot of classy black people out there.
Right. There's a lot of intelligent Afro-Americans out there, and it really like depends on like where you grew up in.
Also, if you are hood and ghetto like me, you can also be all those things too.
White people also experience race-based prejudice.
Some of you guys probably don't know, I have lived overseas. I've lived in Asian countries. In Japan, there are certain restaurants and stuff like that that you could walk into. You can see people dining in the restaurant, and they're gonna tell you they're closed, just because you're white or you're American.
See, yeah, I do agree with this statement, bro. I do agree with this statement. You feel me? Like, I do agree with this statement, bro. Just like, okay, we go to the bar, you know. Let's say we go to a black bar, you know, a black club, and there's a white person that's trying to get in. It's kind of like, what are you doing here? You know, yes, they experience this shit, bro, of course. Everybody, some people like to have their own little groups and try to, we're over here. Like, bro, if you go to a gay bar and then you're a straight man, you feel me? They like, yo, like you're gonna get hit on and you tell them you're straight. It's kind of like, oh, what are you doing here? You know, like, come on, bro. Like, duh, nigga.
So the idea that white people can't really experience racism kind of contradicts the very definition of the word, because the definition of racism is prejudice based on one's skin color. White people do experience it, but to a different degree.
Yes.
While I do think that our white brothers and sisters in Christ can experience racial-based prejudice, I don't want to overlook the nuance of that prejudice, because it's not necessarily rooted in anything systematic or anything that's going to actually have long-term effects that are going to like debilitate a race or inhibit their chances or possibility of succeeding or being seen as better than POC.
I definitely think it's a non-issue, racism towards white people, especially specifically, I want to, like, in America. I don't think it's something that needs to be highlighted as an issue that is a constant threat to lives, day-to-day well-being, progress and success in life in general, because it's not something that's going to inhibit you, and you don't have to walk out your door and think, I'm about to be attacked, like people of color do every single day.
I do agree that white people haven't been put through centuries of hell like black people were, but prejudice towards white people 100% exists. Like whether it's in TV, if it's in movies, like if you watch predominantly black media, there's a lot of roasting towards white people that if it was the other way around, that would never be acceptable today. Then you go on social media like TikTok and you look up white people are bad. You will see videos where they're attacking white people for things that their ancestors did 200 years ago. There are societal benefits at this point for being a person of color, and that those negatively affect white people. Like if you look at affirmative action, diversity quotas in the workplace, all these different things, they lower the bar for black people, but then increase the bar for white people. However, I think where some of the issue comes is because a lot of marginalized groups and people of color back in the day went through so much worse that it's easy for us to discredit the prejudice that white people now deal with today.
Oh my gosh, this nigga cooking up something crazy, bro. Sheesh, I don't even really get into conversations like this, bro, because at the end of the day, I'm just a black dude that grew up in the hood that's trying to live his life, bro, because it's not that serious to me, bro. You feel me? It's not that serious. I got my own life to live. I want people to live their best lives. I want people to, you know, be as kind as they can be. That's, you feel me? So I never really get into conversations like this because I really don't want to talk to nobody who's closed-minded, you know. But this man was cooking up something crazy, bro. Let this nigga cook, man. Seriously. Yeah, because I know a lot of white people, you know, I feel like I see it, you know, Instagram comments, stuff like that, and they're like, oh, but all this stuff, you know, a white person does this, the whole world goes into flames. It's like, yeah, what he said, like, you feel me, they went through, you feel me, ancestors or whatever. I don't know if they was my ancestors, but probably. You know, they went through some serious stuff, you know, back then. You feel me? And it's kind of like they trying to make up for it now with all the stuff that they, you know, trying to, you know, and it's making it harder for that the white people generation now, you know.
An individualistic level, like, yeah, white people get hate all the time. But I think if you zoom out and you look at the big picture, it's a little bit different. And like talking about like YouTube having, you know, racist content for anyone out there, it's like I would have to go and seek that out versus it like coming to me. Versus like on Twitter.
Against white people?
Yeah, I would have to like look for a video being like, oh, people who hate white people.
I agree.
Like versus like Twitter, I don't have to scroll very long before I see some person making some out-of-pocket comment about
and regulation being lifted so people can see that even more so.
Right.
Absolutely, that's one.
Yes.
Affirmative action statistically and on paper, white people, white women were benefiting more from affirmative action at colleges than any other demographic. So I also don't think that's fair to say, but I definitely get what you mean. And again, I think the prejudice is still there though.
And I will say that black people do deal with prejudice. I think every demographic deals with prejudice. There are racist people everywhere. Like, I just don't think systemic racism is an issue anymore in today's society, but I do think that there are racist people out there.
I think that there's a really important distinction. Our language is constantly evolving, and you were talking about the definition of racism. Our societal definition has changed to include a systemic part of it. And I completely disagree with this idea that people of color don't have systemic things against them still. Because the fact that we still have the KKK, the fact that we still have these things, and they are in positions of power.
See, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, bro. That's exactly what I be trying to get with. You see, she's smiling, bro. Shorty just spit facts right here, bro. This kind of like an educational video. You feel me? Most people won't be aware of what's really going on, bro. Look, I got a lot of white friends, bro. I was in a white frat. Look, I'm literally wearing my white frat shirt right now, bro. All right. Just my people's alone. You feel me? My frat brothers alone. They all almost 100% got somebody racist in their family, bro. 100%, bro. You feel me? I don't know if you know about frats. Frats are full of basically like a bunch of rich dudes. You feel me? So we talking about your uncles who's cops. We talking about your grandfather who's state officials. We talking about stuff like that. You feel me? These people that never had the experience being around black people for real and connecting with black people as our generation is right now. You feel me? That are in power, that have these predetermined, you know, ideas, and you feel me, that they don't want to change, bro. Like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, bro. If he been racist all his life, bro, he's not gonna change, bro. He's already old. He's already past that. I don't really see it changing. But our generation now, yes, bro. You feel me? Especially with the internet. You feel me? Everybody coming together. Yes, I feel like it's gonna change. It's always gonna be there. Yes, but it's making improvements. You feel me? She's speaking facts though. Cause bro, every person I met, bro, my best friend, bro, he got a racist family. He got a racist side of the family. The white girls I used to talk to, they got a racist side of the family. Usually grandparents. Usually, you feel me? So that's why I feel like this whole systemic thing is still here. You feel me? Until those people are gone, you know, it's not gonna go nowhere.
As long as that exists, and as long as that's a part of our country's like makeup right now, which it is, and that's our power structure, I don't feel like you can honestly deny systemic racism against the black community, which is why prejudice is so different from racism. I don't think white people can experience racism in this country, but we can experience prejudice based on the societal definitions we now use.
Being sexually unattracted to a race is racist.
Oh man, hold on. See,
I think where the line gets drawn is when if a white male was sitting there swiping and he's just like, I don't like black girls, they're all ugly. They have too big of lips. I think that's where the line gets drawn. But you can't really help what you're attracted to. Like, my fiance is Mexican, and it's like, I like him for who he is, not how he looks.
I think that we are conditioned to be attracted and to respond to people that we grow up and around with. So homogeneously, we grow up with people who look like us. So when you move into dating and things like that, statistically, you're going to be attracted to people that you grew up seeing, right? However, when you are discrediting a certain race for whatever reason based off their ethnicity, meaning everybody who did exist, is existing, and will exist from that race, you are not feeling anything. Cute, I don't control your body or your thoughts, but on one hand, I'm like, let's maybe unpack that. Also, where's my camera? To all the girls that's putting this in their bios, that's none of our business. Stop doing that. Keep that to yourself. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it.
For me,
wait, hear what?
I think
Hear
that,
what?
like,
Hear
we're talking
what?
about
Hold
conditioning
on.
and how we grow.
Bios, You are not feeling anything. Cute, I don't control your body or your thoughts, but on one hand, I'm like, let's maybe unpack that. Also, where's my camera? To all the girls that's putting this in their bios, that's none of our business. Stop doing that. Keep that to yourself. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it.
For me, I think that like we're talking about conditioning and how we grew up, right? If you go to like South Africa, for instance, which within some of our lifetimes had apartheid, if you grow up in that, especially as a black person, where you're constantly being mistreated by every single white person, and you're conditioned to be like, white person, no thank you, I don't think that's racist.
I agree, and I did not grow up in South Africa with apartheid.
Yeah.
However, like I said, the nickname of my town was Clancy. Like a lot of my interactions growing up were incredibly racist, and I'm dating a white guy. So I totally get what you mean. I don't want to discredit black people or anyone who's had those kind of situations, because it's not that they're not dating white people. It's definitely, it's more like they're cautious.
I think you used the perfect word earlier. Is it conditioned or?
I was thinking about it on the terms of me being a black woman. I feel like it's a lot different when it is a black woman going into dating someone that is not of their race. I can tell you from my experience with dating Hispanic men, white, whatever, they've only seen Jerry Springer and Maury. So it's like they have a whole different idea of what a black woman is. Like before my husband changed a lot, one of the comments made to me was he was afraid of me going to his house with braids in my hair, because then they would assume that I was a different kind of girl instead of looking at me for who I am.
Hold on, because I just want to get my input about that, bro. What was the question again, bro? I know this a very blabberful video.
His house.
You feel me? Being sexually unattracted to another race is racist, bro. I don't know. Y'all might get upset with me about this. I feel like it is a little bit racist, bro. I'm not gonna strongly agree, but I'm gonna agree because, like, all right. So, for example, when I moved, like, I'm gonna keep bringing up my own life experiences. God, this is what I've been through. You feel me? I grew up in the hood. Like I said, it wasn't no white people where I was from when I was living in Chicago, bro. It wasn't. You feel me? When I moved from Chicago, I came here, and I'm like, oh, white girls are pretty attractive. But before I started even doing that, people was like, yo, bro, like, don't talk to them white girls, bro. Like, you gonna go to jail. They racist. Blah, blah. They dad gonna do this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, you feel me? Relax. I don't really understand necessarily, because there's so many beautiful women out here, bro. It's so many beautiful women, bro. How you can just like not like a whole race, bro. I don't think that's possible, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because I didn't see women of all different, you feel me, all different flavors, and I'm like, oh man, like damn, like what is she? Like she's so attractive. Like, I already told y'all, I'm not putting myself in no box. Oh, you shouldn't talk to this. I'm not putting myself in the box, nigga. They're attractive. I'm gonna slide. You feel me? So I don't know. I feel like it's kind of racist to me, because I don't really understand how. You feel me? I've had girls, and another thing, bro. I've had girls tell me, like, just like subtle things that like it's kind of racist. They don't even really know it's racist. You feel me? Like I said, I grew up in the hood and stuff, so I guess you could say I'm cool. You know, everybody wants to be from the hood, all the other bullshit. But I was also in a frat, you feel me? I was also a frat boy, so I kind of played both sides of it. So, like, when I talk to some of these girls, they'll be like, I've never talked to a black guy, but I'll talk to you. They say things like that. You feel me? So, hey, man, you feel me? They...
With braids in my hair. Because then they would assume that I was a different kind of girl instead of looking at me for who I am.
I have been denied access because of my race.
Nah.
I can go anywhere, I can sit down anywhere, and I am not going to be denied because of how I look. And I would be ignorant to not admit that.
And I'm gonna counter that with, we are justifiably not let into spaces, and our whiteness takes away access to things like powwows. And there's an island in Hawaii that's only for natives, or for like safe spaces for black communities or whatever else. We are justifiably denied access because of our skin.
Period. We love the nuance.
The thing about Hawaii, though?
Yeah.
Hawaii is stolen land. I believe that they have every right to be able to say only we're allowed to go here because that
Justifiably.
was theirs. It was literally stolen land that was stolen by white people.
Yes. No, but that's why it's justifiably, it's still denied access.
Yeah.
But it is justifiable, 100%. Don't let me
it's
in.
denied access, but it's justifiable. But it's like in my own day-to-day life, I could go anywhere. I can sit down anywhere. I can go read a book in a library. I can go to Starbucks. People don't fear me because of how I look, and so they don't feel the need to be like, you can't be here.
But like in your day-to-day life, are you being denied access? Like, are you trying to go to that island that they won't let you? Okay.
Then I think that's a really good question. Has it happened? I guess. Because, like, are you seeking those spaces then?
I'm not necessarily seeking them. If I am already aware that this is like, hey, this is for us, not for you. I'm not gonna show up and be like, yeah, but like, I'm a cool white person. But there are spaces that we are not allowed, and I think that's okay.
No, it is okay, but if you're not actively seeking to be part of those circles, you're not being denied access to them.
I will agree with that.
Sure, and I can say that maybe those are not the best examples, but like I think especially because my social circles are predominantly people of color, there are definitely things where they're like, where I've had them be like, this is not a conversation for you, and I'm like, okay. I have had those experiences. I'm okay with them. I want to be clear. Like, I think there should be spaces that aren't for me, and that is okay. But they've existed and they've been in my life.
I have just one really specific example. Otherwise, I feel like in general, I'm not denied access because of my race, just in my experience. But I had an ex whose stepfather was wildly racist, like Nazi memorabilia, like just insane individual. And I was never allowed over her house because of him. And the one time that I kind of snuck in, he was staring at me through the window. And I'll never forget that in my life, the way that man was staring at me through the window and then cursed out his kids for having me in the house. That man's now in prison for doing God knows what, but it's where he belongs.
I was looking for funding for my film, and most of them are for colored people, and I totally understand that, and there is like not many that I found that are for like everybody. My mind would be like, you know, damn, I cannot do it, like I cannot apply to it, but from the other side, I understand that the Black community, like, you guys need to get your movies out there.
If anything, I feel like I've been invited too much. You know, I feel like I'm kind of like an undercover agent where I'm like because I talk a certain way or because I present myself a certain way, they assume like, oh, I could say this in front of you.
100%.
And I'm like, what do you say?
Exactly.
You know, I've never really been.
Now, I'll say that too. I've been tokenized so many times.
I'm like, I don't want
we
that.
have to have you here. We need young Black representation. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah, for sure.
I am proud of my race. 3, 2, 1.
I will go first, and I will stand 10 toes in.
I was just being ironic to stand over there.
Okay, baby. I said, please no.
No,
I was here. I cried a little bit.
I was being
think
messy.
that, like, and I'll just keep it specific to.
Oh man, see, you gotta look at this right here, man.
Ironic to stand over there.
Okay, baby. I said, please no. I was here. I cried a little bit.
I was being messy.
That, like,
Look, see, and this is where like I hate to get the blabbering, bro, but I feel like a lot of the white people, especially some of my white homies, my white brothers, as I should say, feel this type of way, strongly disagree, just because what happened in the past. You feel me? Which, okay, you can be guilty about, certain things, but I feel like at the end of the day, you got to be proud of who you are because, this is who you are, bro. God made you this way. You got to be proud of. You should have confidence. You should be, I'll say you got to be the best you can be, Spread kindness, spread love, spread joy. Be proud of yourself. You're made in God's image, bro. You feel me? So I don't feel like you should, you shouldn't be proud of what you are. Not even just to make it about race, because it's a lot of history that went on between us. But well, I don't even know if that attains to the question. Honestly, I should be proud of my race. I feel like that should apply to being proud of who you are. So I don't know. I'm gonna just shut up.
And I'll just keep it specific to my experience of what I know. As Black Americans, we're pretty much the top culture that gets replicated, referenced. People scoot in and scoot out because they want to seem cool and interesting and stuff. And I think that that's so kind of us to like kind of like be beaten down for so long and be kind of separated from our African roots, create names for ourselves, culture, language around our identities as Black Americans, and have that be a thing that's just reverberating across the globe. I think that's so cute. Can never be replicated, can never be understated, and I love that about it.
That was kind of the start of my like thought process too, like just the basis of being torn down so adamantly, so regularly for hundreds of years in law even, like it is insane that we are here today to even be on camera, to even be in a place with other white people. Like it is a beautiful thing that we have been able to flourish in such dirt, like literal filth and grime that our ancestors had to go through, and even our grandparents had to go through. Like in my 8th grade yearbook I saw recently, it said like the South will rise again. Like, and this was 2015. So like this is such a day-to-day thing, and I am proud to be Black, and it's hard to say that. Like it was hard to say that as a kid, like, or else I could be called the N-word, I could be
Shit, I've always been proud.
I feel so blessed to even be able to think that.
Everybody needs to be proud of their race and stop this like racist bullshit, because like you could be green, red, black, white, Hispanic, like it doesn't matter.
I agree with like what you're saying, because my own personal belief is that at the basis of who we are is that we're all just people. We're not a skin tone. But because of those before me, I now have to fight back against the idea that all white people are racist. I remember being in 4th grade and learning about the Holocaust for the first time and saying, I don't want to be German anymore. Meanwhile, my mother's whole family is German. American history, you look at things like slavery, you look at things like Jim Crow laws, segregation. There is so much awful stuff that has happened and is still happening in closeted ways that I cannot be proud of the way that I look.
Yeah, for me, like, I am proud of who I am, like who I grew up to be, like I like who I am. But like, if I were to say I'm a proud white man, like I don't even know what that means. Like, there have been 0 racial hurdles in my life. Now, like, I'm a proud gay man because like I've had to go through shit to get to where I am now. And you know, even to that point, so much of queer culture comes from Black culture. So, thank you.
You're welcome. I want to be proud of the things I've done, the people who I've touched, whose hearts I've opened up. I feel like it's beyond our race. I feel like what it is our experiences that make our light shine through.
That's what I'm saying,
So that's what I'm proud of, actually,
I think that there's a really big difference between being proud to be Black and being proud to be white. So being proud of your culture, beautiful thing. Like, be proud to be Ukrainian. I'm proud to be Slavic. The Black community is different, and the reason it's different is because their culture, specifically Black Americans, their culture was stripped away from them when they were brought over here. So then the culture became being Black American. The race became cultural.
I mixed that up.
So
Sorry about that.
But so I think that there's a really big difference between like I am proud of my people are Slavic, versus I am proud of my race. It just gets convoluted because Black Americans, the race has become the culture because the culture is away.
She cooking,
Oftentimes when you talk about white pride versus Black pride, oftentimes Black pride is rooted in like love and like perseverance of like culture, customs, language, and things like that, and white pride is often rooted in like
racism,
Black hate, Latin hate, Asian hate. So I think that's like an interesting nuance to not overlook.
No, and it's, I think that's such an important point. I think there's a difference between like, I'm proud and therefore I'm better, versus I am proud of what we have overcome.
Type shit.
The whole idea of white pride started with people who think the Confederate flag is a personality trait. So how can I be proud of that?
I'm not saying that this applies to any of you, but I meet a lot of white people, particularly white liberals, who will actively say that they're ashamed of being white. And that is wild to me, because how can you look at your past, and because yes, your race did terrible things in the past, but you shouldn't define yourself as that. If anything, you should look at that and reflect.
So do you think white people should be proud to be specifically white?
See, I think that's a really nuanced question when you're white, because I think you guys had the valid point of ethnicity is different, because like white isn't a collective culture in the way that black is, because black people have been grouped together and have a similar experience. But like white, like Italian American, you should definitely be proud of being Italian American. You should be proud of being Slavic American. You should be proud of your lineage. But just to say, oh, I'm proud to be white, like, yeah, that has a weird connotation to it because it's not a collective culture. But what I really want to emphasize is that you should not be ashamed of being white in the way that a lot of people are.
Nice.
Or maybe you should.
Okay.
You probably
At that point, it's on you.
Nice, this was a W video, bro. Nice. Y'all like videos like this? This video really opened my eyes, you know, some different opinions, bro. Because it's all about growth, you know, all about growth, bro. This video hit different. Bro. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to catch you in the next video. Bye.